Good morning. This is Kelly on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
We're hoping to learn more about an early morning shooting in western Sioux Falls. Our KELOLAND news crew was able to capture video in the area of 12th and Marion.
A sergeant with the Sioux Falls Police Department tells us that the shooting happened somewhere else. Authorities are still looking for that scene. The victim is in critical condition, and police are still searching for the suspect. A Sioux Falls man is facing a list of charges after being arrested in a snowy field west of Harrisburg over the weekend. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says multiple agencies helped the Sioux Falls Police Department with locating a burglary suspect that was involved in a pursuit. A witness was able to help authorities find the suspect stuck in the snow.
As officials approached the car, the 26-year-old was still revving the engine to try and get unstuck. Law enforcement had to break a window to get inside to the driver. Authorities say the suspect was tased and taken to the hospital as a precaution. He was later taken to the Minnehaha County Jail. A Harrisburg girl and woman have been identified in a deadly crash south of town last week. The South Dakota Department of Public Safety says a pickup was westbound on 274th Street when the driver did not stop at a railroad crossing. The pickup then collided with a southbound train.
Two passengers in the pickup, 45-year-old Jennifer Torgerson and 12-year-old Kaylee Torgerson, were pronounced dead at the scene. The 44-year-old driver of the pickup suffered life-threatening injuries and was airlifted to a Sioux Falls hospital. Charges are pending against him. The operator of the train was not hurt.
Now let's get a check of our forecast with meteorologist Brian Karsten's winter weather on tap this week, Brian.
Yes, a lot of it. Good morning, everybody. Quick look at weather headlines here as of the 7 o'clock hour. We have blizzard warnings that will take shape in western South Dakota. A lot of that blizzard will ensue tonight and then into tomorrow. Areas in red, including Pierre and Aberdeen. Winter storm warnings for hefty snow this week. A lot of that will start tomorrow, but even overnight tonight, we'll have kind of a mixed bag initially. Winter would probably be in that mixed precipitation or just rain here initially. But as we look at the parameters, eastern KELOLAND and Watertown, first up, you have an ice storm warning on this. There's going to be enough ice to create problems. Eventually, you'll get snow, too. But southwest Minnesota, even Sioux Falls, we're going to be watching the ice and the freezing rain chance. It's mixed or blended with the sleet and the rain. All of the above. Kind of sounds messy. We'll get into details on the weather coming up shortly in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Brian. The 2023 legislative session will be underway in Pierre in just under 1 month. South Dakota has 105 total legislators across the House and the Senate, 94 Republicans and 11 Democrats.
There are 35 newly elected lawmakers getting started in Pierre in January, 31 Republicans and 4 Democrats. We spoke with a few of the freshman legislators, and they say they're getting ready to get started next month.
Building those relationships, building rapport, trust, and with different advocate groups and lobbyists, making sure that we're getting the whole picture of what is happening. When we have a new term, there's 35 new legislators. That's a lot of education that has to happen in a very short period of time.
My plan is to just make sure that I have good communication with my district members, with anybody too, and just do a lot of listening, ask a lot of questions. I want to research a lot of the bills and help pass good ones and help block any bad ones that come up. But for the most part, just want to help make sure that we're delivering good policy for South Dakota.
To hear more about what these lawmakers' plans are in their new role, you can see the full story on KELOLAND.com. If you don't have your Christmas shopping done yet, time is running out.
But businesses in downtown Sioux Falls are prepared to help you find whatever gift you are looking for. The owner of Mrs. Murphy's Irish Gift says Black Friday shopping was very busy.
And I think the shopping climate has changed over the years, as we all know it to be. We always have our Shop Small Saturday, which has always been good as well for us.
Murphy says 2021 was one of the best years ever for his store in all 25 years, and is optimistic this year will do well too. The Brookings Art Council is getting into the holiday spirit.
Organizations from across Brookings came together to decorate over a dozen trees in the Brookings Arts Council. It's a tradition that's been bringing the community together for around 20 years.
I think first and foremost, it's just a way to celebrate the community and all the different things that we have to offer here in Brookings. Secondly, I hope maybe it gives them, as they're looking at the trees, maybe different ideas and ways of things that they can, of course, get involved during the holiday seasons, but stay involved with the community and the many organizations throughout the rest of the year.
In addition to the trees, they have a Christmas shop where you can buy pieces created by local artists.
And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, as we look through the maps one more time here, we've got, of course, a quilt work of advisories, watches, and warnings across Ketherland. Obviously, blizzard in the west and then the ice storm in the northeast are some of the bigger ones, but even the central area of South Dakota, the amount of snow coming for Pierre, very impressive. All right, let's go through ice, first of all, where we could see the best chances of freezing rain. I would say Sioux Falls will get some of that, but when you work the maps north, it gets a little bit better as far as the odds of that. Brookings, southwest Minnesota. Remember, there's a strong easterly wind or east-southeast wind with this system. So if you end up with a quarter-inch or more of ice, trees, power lines get coated with that, and usually it doesn't work out in the greatest shape. So we'll be on top of that story here in the Storm Center. And then you look at our temperature map, and I loaded some new numbers here within, well, to start this broadcast at least. And what we're basically looking at is moderating through the 30s. I think we're still on track for that. This afternoon, Sioux Falls will be around 33. Aberdeen, probably close to 33, 34. Pierre, about the same numbers. So there's the talk of a little drizzle or patches of freezing drizzle like Watertown can already start that this afternoon, but it's pretty subtle, pretty light. Tonight, that's when the main batch of moisture, the first one, comes up from the south. This, at times, this band will be embedded with some freezing rain, sleet, snow, and, of course, thunder and lightning can't be ruled out at times. It's not going to be a lot of that, but I think there'll be a couple of spots that should register those things. I'll say for Sioux Falls, it's just a wintry blend during the overnight. During the times that it thunders, it could switch to snow, then it could switch back to rain. It's just going to be kind of a mess. And then tomorrow during the day, watch Yankton how it warms into the 30s, upper 30s. And it's rain mainly that direction. So there aren't any advisories for Yankton or Mitchell. You're kind of sandwiched in between all of this, aren't you? And you look to the west of Chamberlain, then it finally starts snowing more after midday. Boy, it picks up a lot. Tomorrow night, too, it's going to be blizzard out in the west. And these snow totals, as we pop up some numbers, this is probably most beneficial because of the hourly timeline. 6 o'clock this evening. Well, not much yet. Okay, so we got that chunk out of the way. Let's take a look at the next period of time. Through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, yep, Aberdeen, Pierre, we're starting to register some heavier snow already. And Sioux Falls could get that quick hit of snow. I still want to be open to that possibility, but since it's such a messy mix, it's going to be probably hard to measure that. And then during the day tomorrow, the snow keeps going. And Pierre and Rapid, well, Pierre in particular, 18 inches of snow. We've seen so much now consistency in some big numbers here. We had to at least put these out there. Now, if you're in winter in Chamberlain, you're probably also looking at some heavy snow, but it might be a little longer process to get to that, you know, close to a foot. And let's put Aberdeen in this part of the, you know, foot of snow. Possibility, I think it's definitely there. And Watertown, 4 to 8 on top of that ice. A lot of travel considerations. I know many of you are busy this time of the year, so be prepared for things to change and for your plans to get changed quite a bit. There's your wind outlook. Notice Rapid City easily getting into blizzard criteria with winds over 40, probably even 50 miles an hour. Don't discount that east wind in Sioux Falls. If we get that ice, even amounts that maybe not quite to an ice storm level, it's still going to be very hazardous and tricky with lots of wind and mixed precipitation. With that said, oh, and then there's this too. Next week, Arctic outbreak is looking very likely, and more to come on that in the days ahead. There are your 30s today, 36 Rapid City. Tonight, snow, rain, all of the above, mixed precipitation. Sioux Falls 32 on the freezing line, and we'll hold in the 30s most of the day tomorrow with that east-southeast wind. Let's look at your 7-day forecast, and right now we've got more chances of snow later in the week. Wednesday is probably a lull in Sioux Falls, but then we get into the folks in Aberdeen, you're going to be more I would say in steady snow chances throughout this period. Not the whole time, but through Thursday, there are good chances of snow. Maybe a separate system by Saturday. The jury's still out on how that one's handled, but eventually we're going to consolidate around the idea of really cold weather, and that's just the tip of it. I think it's going to get worse than what day 7 shows in Pierre, but that's a starting point. Plan on hefty snow in Rapid City, Black Hills, and of course where the wind blows in the plains, it will create whiteout conditions. Lots to follow online as well at KELOLAND.com. Stay safe.